Okay, okay, okay. I think I'm all ready. I think I'm good. There we go. Howdy! Wow, an actual midday show. I don't know what you're talking about, Xavier. We've been having plenty of midday streams. Now let's see. Woo. It's always midday somewhere in the world, you know? Let's see now. Nothing out here I particularly am noticing looking at the environment. Right. Uh-huh. Is that? It is. Huh. Huh. I told you about this, Loki. You think I remember? All the way over here? I bet you might have something to do with Mikola lilies at the Perfumer ruins. That I do vaguely recall, but I did not realize it was there specifically. And this is just regular crystal buds, if I recall correctly. In fairness to the wondrous physic thing, I could just see that being a general, what's it called? A general just Mikola thing, you know? Alright. What's this? Not a completely awful shot here? Crazy. Alright, so... Uh-huh. A lot of budding moss, not that much in terms of crystal. Uh-huh. Now that I think about it, they totally missed out on having Letta buff herself with the physic and increase your holy damage, maybe another effect at the start of the fight. Yeah. Yeah, because we needed more. We needed those enemies to be even more of a pain in the ass, huh? Why not? Hey, I love that fight. Okay. Yeah, I can see the appeal. It is cool having. Oh, man, doing this shit on ×2. I'm sorry, ×5 speed is always such a pain in the ass. No, but I can see the appeal. I can totally make it. I know I've done it before. I just don't remember. I just don't remember the angle I took. There's street lilies at the mouth of this cave, if I'm remembering correctly, right? Yeah, there are. I saw them on the way in. Fine, I'll go the long way. Alright. And now we do the boring thing. Normal speed. Did I ever get shots of this guy? I want to say yes, it's familiar to me. Yeah, it really makes you think if there's, if we're supposed to believe these are giants and stuff, right? If these are actually, like, legit just giant skulls, it's not artistic license, then, oh my. That has some potential. Oh, there's also rock and stuff in here. Do I have that right? Yeah, this looks like stuff that was buried. This looks like rock and dirt from a buried skull. So yeah, I think we can confidently say that these are from these are definitely from, you know, buried dead. There's at least a good chance that they're from actual trolls or giants. Uh-huh. So there's really not that much in terms of crystal here. So you just gotta wait for this thing to go the way of the dodo. And that is where times 5 speed comes in. Snakes respawn on this cliff. Oh, on this cliff specifically? I'm gonna have to look at that then. On Gelmir, right? Or are we talking still on Altus? No, in the old man boss room. Oh, as in they respawn inside the boss room. Gotcha. Yeah, this looks so much better. Here's a thought. I've always considered the assassin and Garrus to be, or whatever his name is, unrelated. Just an old message from looking at him. Ah, I see. But I'm wondering if actually they're working together and like the necromancer said, "Hey, I'll hire you. I'll let you take shelter here or whatever. Like, I'll help keep you fed and stuff. Just, you know, go out there and, like, hunt some Albinorics for me or something, you know?" Now, granted, it could still just be, you know, took over the joint. These are all his Albinorics that he had in his service, and they've been all killed, right? They've been strung up, I guess, for fun. Lady took over his supplies here. He's been forced to camp out in another part of the cave. That could also be it. Would her being invisible factor in at all? That one's hard to say, right? Because, if I recall correctly, we don't have that happen much in the game, period. Oh, whoopsie. That's the wrong one. Oh, well, this will be faster. Like, is she specifically hiding out or something? Maybe the idea could be she snuck in and she did all this killing in secret. And Garrus, not knowing what's going on, just said, "I'm gonna get out of here. Go, ghosts!" You know, that type of thing, maybe. Maybe that could play to the psychology. Because we clearly see the guy's a little deranged if he's got, you know, doesn't he have, like, his family on a weapon or something like that? Like, the guy might be off kilter, so he might be the type, when you combine with him being a necromancer, to get spooked, right? Think he's being haunted or something, and then, you know, just get out of Dodge. When the reality is that the threat of that cave was actually something completely, you know, normal, not paranormal. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head, though. Because something has lines on, I don't remember if you had an explanation for that. I do not recall either. I'm always careful when it comes to some of those smaller details, because, like, it's always a possibility that's from, like, you know, some alternate concept when it was first drafted up that doesn't, like, well, that's interesting. is our friend still here? Or did I kill him? Oh, God. Ah, here we go. No, I have not killed him. Oh, he's facing that. Okay. I swear if this works. Oh my god, it does! Oh, that's good. You take a picture of the fact they have 2 rows of teeth? Oh, do they? Oh, that they do. Actually, when you look into it, it looks like they might have 3 rows of teeth. Yeah, they got 3. Emphasize the consumption, I assume. Yeah, that would make sense. Miyazaki's like, oh, they're obsessed with eating and eating and eating, and person's like, okay, you know what? You know what makes me really think eating? Teeth. Give them more teeth. That sounds logical to me. I can't remember. These hawk ones are used for all tunnels, right? So this isn't special in and of itself. Yeah, okay, just want to confirm. There we go. Alright, let's go down here then. Oh, I love how that happens when we get down here. That loads in and completely screws him up. Okay, sure, whatever you say, game. I think you're meant to come in this side. No, you are not. Pretty sure you can't. Yeah, you can't even enter. They don't even let you. Ah, yes, my open world game that is somehow still linear. Ah, there we go. I don't know why you fixed yourself, but I'm happy. Happy you did. Man's like, give me more. Surviving down here, it's such a struggle. Like, how am I supposed to make it in here? Oh no, that's just water. Okay. Man, I love when my lighting just decides it's gonna stop working. Truly my favorite. There we go. Alright, no staring at my ass. Oh. Hello? Hello, beautiful. I see. Alright, so I'm covered. I ruined it. I ruined it. We had the shot. We had the shot. We had the shot and I ruined it. Oh, I just noticed it's snowing about. I don't think it's snow. I don't know if it's ash or something from the volcano or what, but there is a little bit of, like, debris or something that rains down. Or rather up, I should say. See? No, I mean real life. Oh, okay. Real life. I see. You have one of those. I did not know this. I thought everyone was a cave gremlin. Alright. Higher low D. I used to think there wasn't any axe-wielding omens that can do the Wraith Explosion and buff their weapon, but there is in fact one of them. Oh, really? You mean the ones with all the horns, right? Neat. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, the Royal Omen. It's at Lanedale Catacombs, I think. Oh, cool. That's unexpected. If I recall, these guys... Let me actually confirm it here. But I'm pretty sure these guys do not... I don't know why the camera does that at high LOD. It is such a weird thing. But anyway, I'm pretty sure these guys do not... Oh. There we go. I'm pretty sure these guys don't do the death spell thing no matter what, right? PowerPoint presentation, Batman. Every other Royal Omen decide to learn the blade, I guess. You gotta ask yourself, where the hell are they getting those swords, you know? It's like skeletons. Where did the skeletons get all their curved swords? Does everyone just decide, did everyone across all the From Software games just decide, you know what? We're gonna bury our dead with a bunch of curved swords. Why? Because, hey, maybe they'll rise from the dead someday and need to protect themselves. Like, it's such a specific choice. Like, even random it's like, ah, yes. Random skeletons out in the Huntsman's Copse. Or in Mytha's Mines. They also happen to die with curved swords. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you're kind of like, just don't think about it. I think I remember that this blade is designed to fall apart. Yeah, you have to ask yourself, where the hell are they forging the blade itself so they can make it, cobble it together so it can fall apart, right? It's one of those things that you just accept it's a video game. Alright. Oh, I forgot to, I forgot to turn stealth on. And I left high LOD on for some reason. I thought I turned that off. Whoops. Clearly, I can't read. There we go. That's a lot of bodies. There we go. Oh, did you ever check the mushrooms in the Ancestor Spirit? Ah, no, you're right. That completely slipped my mind with everything else yesterday. Let's do that now. In the after we're finished with the Gelmir and cave stuff, I want to look at. those Dark Souls looking... There we go. There we go. Is there an agenda today? Yeah, I'm trying to look over some stuff with caves and things to make sure I'm not crazy with some of the thoughts I've had. So far, I have not been. I am perfectly sane. God, I do not remember this cave being this big, you know? Oh, I definitely want a shot of that. I'll say, you got better at that, Miyazaki. What's a rat doing? Oh, this is just the dead end, okay. This is the way to the boss room? Question mark? I want to say yes. Yeah, they're there. I'll save you some time. You are that crazy. Well, thanks for letting me know, Xavier. I have gone my whole life without realizing. You know? I'm glad you're looking out for me. There we go. One of these is the way out of here. What the hell are you doing? Wait, which one is this even? What? Why are you even loaded? What? Ah, no. Let's reset this because I want that flower. I want that flower to be fine. I want it to not be alerted to my presence. Alright, kill me, poison. Do your worst. Oh! Speaking of... Damn. There we go. It's getting just the right angle. Yeah. Perfect. There we go. Again, just making sure. Yeah, so it looks like we have the case of many people dying, of course, in the fall, and those who survive dying of the poison by the time they reach the first island. Yeah, it's really that's really unique to the storytelling here. Yep, no more corpses. That's cool. Eventually I'll die of poison. Let's see, what will kill me first? The poison or the fall from a great height? I guess it's gonna be the fall. Ah! Damn it. Damn. I'm failing at this whole falling to my death thing. Damn. Oh. There we go. Oh no. Okay, listen. I may have just kind of clicked thing without thinking that there was a America statue there, you know? There we go. Me trying to... There we go! Me trying to get myself killed. So bad you can't even die right. Oh, beautiful. Oh yeah, see the water. Now though, I'm really curious if where else do we see all these slime boys appear? Because are those maggots just normal maggots that have infested the flesh? Or is there, you know, do we got one of those things going on with, Destined Death? Because we have the basilisks here, right? So I have to wonder. Yeah, this will be fine. Alright. Where the hell? Ah, there you are. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Alright, now I can die. I can die without regrets. Beautiful. Last side of grace. Oh god. Which way's the way out? Okay. Other than their sword is basically like just them. Like it's a piece. It feels like it's just a piece of their own wing or something that they ripped off. It's just made to be in line with their aesthetics, yeah. There we go. Alright, got shots and stuff of that. Do you have a picture showing that the only place in Volcano Manor where level bubbles is right about the Snakes Arena? I do have pictures of that area, yeah. Uh-huh. 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 What's with the flesh inside of these? I assume it's kind of like a lure for the snakes, right? Like, you basically take a bunch of slices of meat, you staple it to the interior of this, and it gets the snakes to, you know, operate it because they're like, oh, I get to have food if I push this and if I push that, and, you know, all that jazz. So that's what I think it's all about. I think it's about motivating the snakes. Kind of like how if you have a hamster on a hamster wheel or whatever, right? Or whatever type of thing on a hamster wheel, you like just put like, you know, you hang like a cheese by a string in front of it or something. And it's going to infinitely, you know, push the hamster wheel, right? Not necessarily because it wants to use the wheel or whatever, because it's so focused on the food. It's sort of doing what you want it to do unconsciously. I think that's the idea with the snakes, is that the snakes aren't fully, what's the word? They aren't necessarily fully, you know, sentient, right? To the same degree as us. But they're really motivated by food. I see some people speculate the lady on the Virgins is supposed to be the Glowmite Queen. I mean, that could track even with Mesmer, right? The idea that Mesmer might have created those or whatever, right? Using some snakes. If we go with that, that's totally possible with the whole Glowmite Queen thing as well, if we want to go with the independent creation. So, I can see that. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but I can see it. Snakes are stupid except for a couple of species. Yeah, obviously it's a fantasy world, so they can make the snakes as smart or stupid as they want them to be, right? But for the purposes of, I think, Elden Ring, I think in this context they're supposed to be, you know, they're just going with the flow. Alright, I haven't seen a whole lot of, crystal buds up here, you know? I will say I love Nardi's charts and stuff that she's had. Using her Limgrave and Liurnia one for some of the lower areas has been great. There's one of our favorite little blood boys. I'm still not exactly sure what's going up with all the guys deciding they're going to suddenly resort to cannibalism. I don't know if that's purely thematic or if there's actually some weird story thing going on here. It does seem just kind of random for me. That's like, ah, yes, these guys, they've suffered so badly. They're so desperate for rations. They're going to start eating the corpses. I don't know. King Cobras are pretty intelligent from what I know. Oh, neat. I don't think I've come across... Maybe I'm missing it. But I don't think I've come across a single crystal bud. I feel like... Oh, wait. Did I see it or am I crazy? I'm just crazy. Alright. Yeah. I think it's like how the rock converts an area to a red hell. The snake has a magical influence that invokes hunger / cannibalism. Oh. Interesting. I feel like it's weird, though, that we don't really see it, that idea explored more, if true, then. Right? Like, I feel like we'd see the cannibalism thing a lot more, especially in the prison area, you know? There's lots of dead bodies there. It's actually really impressive to me how we're not finding crystal buds. Now, granted, the argument for no crystal buds could be that, you know, there's not many trees. Right? We have the Cannibal Lady Village, I guess. Yeah, but I feel like that might be more cultural. Actually, I guess you could argue in the history and stuff, there could have been the snake influence period there. You know what? I'll give you that one, Xavier. I'll give you that one. Yeah, I guess the best argument you can have is that there's just not that lot in the ways of trees. I love the battlefields have all the trees burned and stuff, right? And then this stuff is like, oh, nah, it's totally fine. Yeah, very cool. So it's like the camps are up here, and now we're getting back to Rykard banners here. Are these trees Erdtree influenced trees? They look orange, but are they birch? I think it's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure they're the same you see on regular Altus. Yeah, see? Pretty sure it's that same color. This is especially interesting to me because you have Erdtree, but then in the middle, they got this. Which, granted, I guess is the idea of the puppets, right? It's just kind of weird when you think about how you're supposed to be scaling this. Also, I love how there's a battle mid going on, but don't worry, they're going to make sure that they have these monuments ready for you. Alright, what are the crystal? What does the crystal look like here? Yep, not a single one. Man, I don't think there's any crystal buds on Gelmir. Alright, but here's crystal. So we do have some crystal. And then we have more crystal. Okay. Oh my gosh. Alright, I have shots of you. Also, make sure to remember that the flying puppets here throw lava pots. Ooh, I will have to try to commit that to memory. That's a good thing to know. It's a fun minor detail. Yeah, that pretty much confirms, you know, that they're Gelmir lined. Also explains all the burning pots, you know. Okay, so we have cave moss kind of healthily mixed in with other stuff here. All right. I'm not too concerned about. I already have stuff for the cave up here. Cave of the Four Lord? I don't think there's much here. I really don't remember for this cave. Whew. Good old lilies, right? These are the Mikola lilies, right? I don't think this is an accident. Not volcano pots that have the heat cloud. It actually spawns lava puddles. That's even neater, you know? So we have also flowers growing on ice. Yeah, these are definitely not natural. Yeah, you know what? Someone planted these. Call me crazy, but I think someone might have planted these. Golden lilies are oh, they are gold, aren't they, huh? I never even considered that. Yeah, I wonder, I guess this would be like, you know, quote unquote pure gold, huh? Okay. Yeah, still nothing in here. Okay. Let's go down now. Because if we're gonna get any of that good shit, it's gonna be here, right? Also, really? Just a thin layer of ice here? Okay, a little more than thin, I will admit. Okay, a little more than thin. Fair enough. Though still, how the hell did this area hollow out? Lore man can't remember item descriptions? Nope. Too many games, my memory's a sieve. I'll give this area a thorough look over. It ain't got anything that anyone could have possibly missed. It does not have crystals in here. Also, remember that the Misbegotten Light Spirit in the DLC has the same skill as the Golden Order Greatsword, but has a Hailing Tree sigil and throws a ring of light instead of a golden wave? The Misbegotten Lion Spirit in the DLC. I do not remember this spirit, Xavier. Was that from a Spirit Scholar snail? I don't recall, or... It's on the way to Trina? Okay. Does it respawn, or is he like a non-respawning mini-boss? Because that might be why I don't remember him, because we've never crossed paths again after the first time. Non-respawning, yeah, that explains it. Yeah, I do not remember the non-respawning enemies. Mesmer's forces don't have any trolls helping out either, huh? No. I wonder if that's because the trolls weren't yet, you know, they weren't yet, you know, fully second-class citizens pulling carriages and stuff at this point. Or if it's more on the lines of, America didn't want them messing with fire. She's like, I don't trust them trolls with the flames. I could definitely see it. Alright. More like 5th class citizens or pets? I wouldn't go so far as to say pets. But yeah, you know, when you're at the level of like a pack mule, you're pretty damn close. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. I think we are good. Actually, if this is a moat, if this is like an artificial moat, that makes this all the more interesting with the blood roses down here, huh? Great, they do make a distinction, huh? I also can't imagine an artificial moat being done at 2 different levels like this, you know? So maybe it is just a natural moat that Langdell took advantage of. Oh. Well, that Lindell took advantage of, I was saying. You think the finger creepers in the mountains could actually be from the two fingers since they're involved with the hero's catacombs? I've never thought that. Like, I've talked about before, I think they are products of America's research into fundamentalism. I think that's why we see them at Lindell. I think that's why we see them at the mountaintops. Maybe that might not be the reason we see him at Gelmir. It's possible it has to do with Rykard. You know, I don't want to get too deep there because it could just be something completely unrelated in that case. I think that's why we see them at Karian Study Hall. I think that's why we see them at Karian Manor. And as I stand by that, I think they are products of America experimenting with the, how do I put this? The finger of the, of whoever got eaten by the snake during the Glowmite Queen's time. That's where I stand on this. I think Rykard wasn't the first. I think someone else got consumed by the snake to become giant monstrosity thing. Gets, killed, right? The finger, one of the fingers is severed and buried in the hero's grave, right? And then after that, I'd want to say that... How do I put... Also, this still annoys me. After that, I want to say that the hero's grave, the hero's grave at the mountaintops is rather, you know, like they're two fingers worshippers, but the actual finger creepers are products of working with the giant's fingers. And that's why, again, this is going purely off the base game, ignoring what they add in the DLC. That's why they don't have any of them have ring fingers on them, because they're working off with the giants and not with the Rykard fingers, because the Rykard fingers are the ones that are going to be indicated by the rings. Now, in the context of the DLC, I am willing to say that all of the finger creepers there are probably from Metter. Now, I don't know exactly how that works, per se. If it's just like you said, the two fingers spawn them in the various finger ruins, or if they're all from Metter, period. Right? Like, if there's a derivative thing here, we're not like, you know, she's the mother of finger creepers, but not like every finger creeper in the DLC even. That I still have to think on, but that's where I stand on things. The rings are finger magic so far as they are cast by the lampreys, and Metra has a somewhat similar color laser beam. I agree with that, but I think the thing with well, one, it's more like gravity magic, the way that it, like, behaves when we see it in the base game. And two, that I think when it comes to, like, what Marika's doing, yes, she's trying to experiment on creating two fingers like Metter, so I'm totally okay with them using similar spells and magic and things. I'm just saying, and you could even argue, like, that's the reason for the rings there, like, the rings are supposed to be some sort of device or what have you, right? But I think in terms of, like, design and what they're trying to convey, the idea is supposed to be that Marika, use, fingers from the snake god in order to try to independently recreate fingers of the greater will, if that makes sense, right? So use one god to try to reverse engineer the, vassals of another god. I don't know how the finger creepers work. Are they like a combat form like ants, or are they broken because she's been broken? I could see either or. I could see it as either or. I think based on what we're told in the DLC and what we see with them, again going with what I've stated about them being experiments of Marika's, I want to say that they are broken, right? That they are failures, they're incomplete, and I guess the argument would be that even the two fingers, despite seemingly being, quote-unquote, you know, they came out right, they're still wrong because Metter is fundamentally broken, so they're fundamentally broken. Yeah, I'm not seeing any crystal buds in this corner. I think they are there. I could have swore I took shots. I know there's one, like, on the other side. I know I took a shot of that one. But yeah, I'm now more curious about the blood roses here. The only other thing I can think of for why blood roses are here, if it's not related to any battles or anything. Again, like I said, I think it could be related to the battle here because you have the graveyard right next door, so that would make sense, right? But the only other thing I can think of is that maybe, the idea was the, Dung Eater is killing lots of victims there, not just Bogarts or whatever his name is. There's the skill you get down there too. Oh, I don't even remember that one. I'm gonna have to note that down. Actually, the moat has to have already existed if we want to go with this bridge being older, right? Yeah. Yeah. At the very least, this part of the moat has to have already existed with the bridges and stuff here. If we wanna go with the idea that this bridge is 100% from an older time. The biggest problem I have with the bridges in Altus is I don't know why we just have the rope bridge for the one area. That still doesn't really square with me. I don't know why that's a thing. Oh. Because we don't see any ruins or stuff like we do with the other. So it's a bit weird for me, especially when they do it in an area, like, literally right nearby, that they wouldn't do it for here, right? Rusty, what are you doing? What are you doing, doggo? Stretching? Okay, good. Right? Because, like, we get no rubble or anything here. The closest we get is a carriage. Actually, we don't even get a carriage here, do we? We get the giant, we get the troll, the two trolls, but not the carriage that they apparently ran off with them. I guess it's supposed to be this carriage? But there's also like a broken carriage over here, right? So I don't know. It's just really weird to me, based on what we have, if the idea is like, we create this rope bridge to make up for the fact that we lost our actual bridge. Especially if the carriages are all being, you know, abandoned here. Like, why is that? Yeah, so this transition area doesn't make sense to me. The Rife Blood Ruins, sure. But, like, the stuff with the carriages and things, it isn't squaring in my head yet. I'm not sure what exactly From Software is trying to tell us. Alright, let's go look at the things and then head off. I had to search it. The skill you get down there is Prayerful Strike, and it uses the 2 fingers. Oh my god, yeah, that works. That works perfectly with the war thing. Oh, wow, yeah. I wonder if that's in Altus Unification War already. That sounds like something I wrote about, but then forgot. I'm gonna have to check. You probably have it. Yeah, like, it sounds familiar enough to me where I'm like, yeah, but again, it's so hard with me and false memories. Rivermouth Cave. Scorched Ruins. Castle Front. Temple Town Ruins. Shadu Altus West. Alright. Nothing there, so let's just go and look at the thing I want. Nothing's coming to mind, so... No, it's not down here, it's over here. Right? Wait, I thought you could warp to... No, you know what, it just says the America Steak, huh? Yeah, for a second I thought you could warp into the place. Hello? Oh, actually, do the rivers have buds? Nothing here. Nothing here. Oh! That looks familiar. It's the same. At the very least, they're using the same model for sure, right? Yeah, this is the fun guy. There we go. Also, with the stuff with Mikola and things and what we've seen here, I'm feeling it's just not properly textured, or like, you know. But, you know, I'm starting to think that I'm starting to think we have to think of the cosmology in terms of, like, I think Teen Sith had a good idea, had like a good like she was on the right track, I think, when she was going down the rabbit hole of like Egyptian mythology. I think we do have to think of it where, like, you have two physical bodies. You have your physical body in on Earth, and then your physical body in the supernatural world, right? And both are equally physical. I think that's the only way to rationalize Mikola getting rid of his flesh and stuff in the realm of shadow, while his flesh still exists in the cocoon in Mogwin Palace. Maybe it's lore. Yeah, I mean, technically anything can be lore, you know. But I think that's something we have to. That's something on how we have to kind of think about it. Because it also, we see it here, right? We're seeing physical bones we can crash into, we can roll them or whatever. But by all indications, this is some sort of spiritual realm, right? Like, the corpse of the ancestral spirit king that we have exists in reality. But we also have that same ancestral spirit king existing here in this spirit realm. Golden shadow flesh or something. I don't know if that's the exact idea, but I do think there is this duality thing, right? Because obviously, that's clearly a major, dare I say it, theme in Elden Ring of just duality, right? Like, whether it's with actual twins or with light and shadow, you know, like, or I should say golden shadow, right? The idea is very clear that there's this idea that, you know, there's two sides to everything, right? There's something, everything comes in pairs. So what I'm thinking is, I think we have to start thinking of the way that everything exists is that, yes, you will die, but that isn't your true end. There's, in the sense that there is another you which exists in another reality, and they're connected. Now, how exactly that all works out, like, what's the rule set, how does that, like, function for, like, life and death? What does that have to do with spirits that we see, right? Because sometimes it looks like, you know, as I've talked about before, especially with these fungi and stuff that we can see with these spirits, it looks almost as if you have a physical body which turns into a spirit form, right? I don't know what's up with that either. But there's a lot of things about this cosmology that I don't quite understand. And I think that might be, like, one of the things I need to, like, kind of establish as just, like, a baseline to help me start piecing it together. But yeah, definitely looks like they used, definitely looks like they used the same stuff for the rot. Good to know. Alright. Alright, that answers my question here, so I think we're gonna just end things here. I thought you would not do cosmology stuff. I don't want to do a full cosmology breakdown if I can help it. But as far as I need to have at least some, you know, some semblance of how things work. If I'm going to try to make sense of certain stuff in the environment that doesn't have to do with, you know, it doesn't have cosmology as the focus, right? Like if it, like I have to understand how death works, in this world versus how it works in our world, right? I have to understand how living things, you know, are born, age, and are born and age and then die, much like how it works in our world, right? Like I need to understand like how are those things similar or different, right? And because the more I can assume operates like our world, the better for me, right? Less work I have to do. Oh. We need to get one of those in before we head off. Would destined death hurt both? Possibly. It's possible that destined death creates some sort of total final death to both, and that's why Godwin, that's why with the idea with Godwin losing his, with his soul dying but his body staying alive or something, right? That could have to do with that, because it cut to his soul, and maybe the soul on his, you know, dual body was perfectly slain, while his other body was not. Like, there's a lot of ways to look at that. I don't know which one's, like, the absolutely correct, but idea I've got. For sure. There we go. Would that mean there's a spirit world, Elden Ring, where destined death would be located? That I do not know either, right? Like I said, I don't know how this would function beyond how I think that's how we have to think of bodies. That you essentially have two fleshes. Like, what does that mean for America and Radigan, for example? Like, what if the idea of Radigan and America being one entity is actually just a matter of America's second flesh from this, you know, this hypothetical supernatural world has been dragged to overlap with this plane of existence, right? With our earthly realm. And as a result, she lives in this contradictory state where she is both fleshes at once, right? As for the gender bending part, I don't know how that would factor in or anything like that. You could argue that was twisted because of a curse or something like that, right? But that could be some, like, sort of explanation on why America has a completely separate body she can turn into. Because it technically is a separate body from a dual reality of hers, but it's been brought down into ours. Hey, I am. Hey, Fumiko. You guys have showed up just in time for me to, you know, close things down. Yeah, I'm just about to leave. But anyway, that's what I've got on my head right now for how to handle, like, you know, the thing that we see with Mikola. By the way, I was looking through the Japanese dialogue for Ansbach again. Most of the earlier stuff then, I'm like, oh, so he does explain why Mikola, how Mikola got into the tower before we do, right? Before we even burn anything. The entire idea seems to be that part of Mikola's plan was to relinquish his flesh, not only to get rid of his golden fate, but also because if he doesn't have a physical body, he could apparently just pass through the shadow. So, like, I'm like, wow, he just made himself a ghost. But then that makes me wonder, are there actual physical parts, because we do have, we have a Mikola cross here. We do have a cross here, and a cross here. So I'm kind of curious, because isn't the cross here like his fears or something? Is Elden Ring your favorite game? No, no, no. I would not put From Software. I'd probably say maybe like Dark Souls 1 or 3. Probably both would be somewhere in my top 10 maybe. At least Dark Souls for sure. But yeah, these games generally aren't my favorite. Honestly, if it wasn't for the enthusiasm people have for me to covering Elden Ring, I honestly not sure if I would be covering it on my website, right? Like, there's so much I personally want to talk about with Elden Ring, right? With the Banished Knights and stuff. But I'm really not that passionate about everything else. I just think there's a lot of cool things that people don't talk about. The localization for these games is for this game specifically, so much better than for the past From Software titles. Like, it's like, it's not even a contest. Anyway, what is this? His fears, right? I abandoned here all but yeah, okay, so there's nothing physical here. Was it physical here? Alright, but my favorite Souls game is Elden Ring. Coolio. Favorite FromSoft games, you know. I know I am. I know what yours is. You don't have to say it. It's obviously Bloodborne. There we go. Where the hell is this thing? It's below me. Oh, it's below me? More like below me. Where the hell is this thing? Oh. Left arm here, I think. He abandoned his love and self-doubt with Trina. Yeah, that one I definitely recall that happening. Yeah, I think it must be lower down than I'm thinking. Or is it here? No, that's where I just jumped down and died. I'm surprised that worked. I was expecting to die, honestly. Not in here. It's in the fly room or something? Ah, so it is down there. You know what? Let's make this easier for me. Wait, why does it come out of there? It's not over there, so maybe on this side. Nope, I was just there. Yeah, I don't know where this thing is then. What other games do you stream? Gotcha games, things we recommend? Yeah. For the most part, it's mostly From Software games for my work stuff. But then, like, I'll throw in, like, Honkai Star Rail. I'll do, like, you know, some random indie title you guys may recommend, or something else that I'm personally interested in. I really need to get back to Honkai Star Rail before the event ends, tomorrow. I think we're gonna have a long marathon stream, probably. It's just that I have all this stuff I want to look at Elden Ring, right? So I want to kind of get that over with instead of simmering on it with, you know, incomplete data. Oh, I'm assuming you didn't much care for the game I recommended, Loki? No, it's just that, like I said, I've been real busy and stuff. I'm still, like, on the fence about it. Like, there's part of me that's like, oh, you know, this would be fun to get, right? And I think that might be enough to put shit for me, but, like, I don't know. I'm not, like, 100% sold. Looking too closely at Elden Ring isn't healthy. Looking too closely at a From Software game isn't healthy. Oh, is it here? Alright, my dog is getting antsy, chat, so I think I need to... I think I just need to go. I know some of you came in a little late, but... Sorry. That's just how it be. You protect a child if that helps at all, and it's very dark. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I think we're just gonna move on from here. Well, by the way, have you ever played The Last of Us? Yeah, sure, I love The Last of Us. Man, I wish there was a sequel. It'd be really great. I'm sure Naughty Dog would do so amazing if they ever came out with a sequel for it. Like, it doesn't really need a sequel. It's a perfectly fine story on its own, but if it's Naughty Dog doing it, I mean, they're just the best with these types of things. So, I'm sure they would make this amazing sequel. Such a shame it doesn't exist. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye-bye!